Hey all, I think we're live. This is super exciting. So I'm Catherine. I'm like a minute early because I feel like every time I do one of these new classes, I mess something up. So I was really hoping to be early. I tried to be early for bar this last Saturday, and then the internet, I think, had a meltdown. Um, and so I was ready today with like backup phone, Wi-Fi boost. Oh, it's so crazy. But I'm really having fun teaching these classes to you guys. Um, if anyone's on, I don't know if anyone's watching. Oh, one person's watching. If you're on, for my one person watching right now, let me know how the sound is. Just you can give me like a thumbs up or something if the sound is good. Yeah, there are a few more people on. We're not going to be working with music today, so you don't have to think about that. So you don't have to worry about one extra element. But yep, okay, cool, awesome. Hey, Maddie. Yay! It's awesome to see you guys. Or to like see that you're here. I can't actually see you. So while we're waiting to get started, I mean, it is right now 11 o'clock, but I know how life is. Sometimes we don't make it to the computer on time. So things that you might want today. This is going to be a Pilates fusion class. And so we're not going to do traditional mat Pilates. I am a traditional mat Pilates teacher, or I am certified to teach traditional mat Pilates, as well as reformer Pilates, in addition to Legree and pop Pilates and all these other fusion methods. So I like to mix it up. I mean, that's like long and short. I really like to mix it up. There are some great Pilates, like more traditional Pilates classes, though, that Balance is offering. So definitely check out their schedule so that you can get a little bit of everything, right? So I'm Catherine. I've been teaching for Balance for like a really long time. Let me get myself organized in my brain. What you're gonna need today, that's more important than my yammering on. Okay, you're gonna need a mat. You will probably, I don't know about y'all, but my neck gets really tired when I do a lot of ab stuff. So I've been using a rolled up towel. When I'm in the studio, I use like a ball like this. I like this better than a yoga block. So if you have something like this, go ahead and grab it. And a yoga block can work, but I think a towel, it might be the most versatile workout tool. I mean, it works for so many things. Other things that you may want. We're going to do just a little upper body, but today is going to be more focused on our lower body. And then on Thursday, we'll probably do a more dedicated upper body component. So today, you won't need anything like weights or strap. I like to do work with a yoga strap. That said, I know some of you like to mix it up even more than I do. So if you do, I'm not going to do anything dedicated with weights, but there might be places you're like, I want to throw a weight in there. Cool, grab your weights, or I always have these cans of vegetarian chili that are just living here in my living room. So while you're grabbing those things, so I said a towel, a mat. We won't use anything glidey today, I don't think. Yeah, no. It's going to be mostly abs and some leg work today. So grab your towel, grab your mat, and join me back here. If you're just jumping on, there are a few of you on now. Yay! If at any point the sound is not ideal, let me know. If you see me looking over here, it's because I can see this a lot easier. This is my computer and my camera's over there. I know my camera makes it a little like crooked or fuzzy. It's crooked in here? Oh no! I'm gonna mess with that just for 2 seconds while you guys are there. That might be a little better. Yeah, that's a little better. As we make it work, you get to see my TV, all the unicorns and the giant bear. There's just so much stuff in here. I love it. I made a decision a few years ago to stop trying to have a grown-up house and to just surround myself with stuff that makes me really happy. And yeah, this makes me happy. So let's get moving now. So now that you've grabbed your stuff and you're all set and you're all ready to go, I do want to say, because I can't see you, you have to be really the boss of you. If something is not feeling right on your body, you don't have to, I'm not even there to look at you if you take a break. So I want you to make sure you're taking breaks as needed. My personal fitness philosophy is like you want to feel the work in the right place, but if you're feeling it in the wrong place, something's wrong. It might be that you're doing the exercise wrong, but even if you're doing it perfectly, not every exercise is for every person. And I will focus a little bit on I talk a lot about extra mobility or hypermobility, so that if that's you, great. This might be a really good class for you. So we're gonna come down. Hey, Lisa. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're here. We're gonna do some things. So I'm technically not allowed to teach pop Pilates in a group a Facebook live format like this. So I am the new pop release though, it came out yesterday and I already learned half of it. So we're going to do some of those exercises, but without music. But a big thank you to Pop Pilates for teaching me these awesome exercises. But let's get started. I know I could talk forever to a camera. So, okay. I'm just gonna I'll get moving. Okay. You can have this towel here behind your neck if you want some support for your head. You don't need it. You could rest on the mat. I like it just, it feels comfortable for me for this double leg stretch. We'll pull our knees in and you're trying to keep your tailbone down. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, extend arms and legs out. We pull in, keeping those hips. We're trying to fold at the hips. We call this double leg stretch, and it always, you'll hear me say this a lot if you take my classes. It always annoyed me that this was called a stretch because it can be a pretty intense ab exercise. As you extend your legs, you want to make sure that your low back stays down and nice and neutral. We pull in and then we send arms and legs out. If you want to add head, neck, and shoulders, do feel free. Send it out. You want to make sure that that head just is floating right on top of those shoulders. And I have a really bad habit, and it's like that I curl in like this. Try to keep that neck in good alignment with your spine. So if you're someone like me, I actually have the beginnings of arthritis in my neck. I know, crazy. I was in a car accident. I think that's part of it. But, so I have to be really conscious. I already had a really forward head. Exhale, pull in. But I have to be really conscious of where my neck goes because it likes to just kind of push forward like this. It's not so good for it. And send it out. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, extend out. One more. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, extend out. This next one, we're laying down. Your head can be elevated or flat on the mat. We're going to bring our legs to a tabletop position. Whenever I say tabletop, I mean this position with my knees directly over my hips. It should feel a little uncomfortable, unlike this. This feels a little easy, uncomfortable. Keep the ribs in a neutral back. I'm not tucking my pelvis and keeping it super neutral. Give yourself an opportunity right here just to play around with that. What does it feel to press your lower back into the mat? What does it feel to let your back arch? And then try to find somewhere right in the middle. We'll go right here. We're going to extend our legs up and down, extend up. And if you can't get your legs straight all the way, that's okay. If this is really easy, don't worry. This is just the beginning. Exhale, and then rebend. Exhale. Let that exhale be loud. There's no one around you, so you don't have to be shy. Or maybe there is, but it's good to remind other people to breathe too. So exhale. We exhale. We're going to add a little footwork here. We exhale, flex, point, bend. Exhale. We're at the point. We're going to flex, bend. Exhale, lift up, point, bend. Exhale, lift up, flex the feet. We're going to do that a few more times. Remember, neutral back. So we're just working through our feet. Flex and down. And I know those little crunches and cracks, that is my body. It's not my floor. I might try to blame it on my floor, but it's totally me. I crunch, crack, make all kinds of crazy sounds. Nice. And flex, point, down. We're going to curl back forward, single knees. Pull, 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 pull. Exhale, exhale. Keep going. Exhale, exhale. Exhale. Hey, Cassia! I just like to see who's here. It makes me feel less alone in the world. Pull, pull. Now, I do live with my boyfriend here in this tiny house, and my boyfriend is not the big bear. Although some days it feels like that. My boyfriend's still an essential worker, so he does leave the house every day, which means I get the living room, which is awesome. Exhale, exhale. Exhale, exhale. Exhale, exhale. Keep this really... You can't bring your knees in this much, that's fine. Just making sure your back's not arching. And again, if you want to rest your head, that's fine. The breath is more important. Exhale, exhale. Now let's take our hands away and let's just see where our active flexibility is today. So if I could pull my knee all the way in, can I pull it in just with the strength of my abs? Hands can go behind the head to support it and add a little extra work for those abs. 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees into the chest and squeeze. We're going into a windmill. This is one of my favorite moves. We're going to take our arms out, palms press into the floor. Cassia is probably on just to see if, because I made fun of her the other day for like saying one word wrong. I'm going to mess up so many words. Oh my gosh. We're going to take our knees to one side and then come back to center. And then we're going to go to the other side. And you might not go to your max here, because what I want you to think about is keeping your entire upper back down. So really pressing your arms into the ground. When I say shoulders down, I mean like basically like think middle of your rib cage and up, or shoulder blades, bottom of your shoulder blades and up. Taking this twist and pull it back. I'm trying to keep my knees together, my ankles together. Push into the ground to help you keep those shoulders down, and so you can feel that connection between your obliques as you're pulling back in. So you might have a flexible enough spine to go all the way over, but we want to also make sure we have the strength to pull it back in, which is a thing I've probably spent the last couple of years of my life working on, is trying to rein in a little bit too much mobility. And let's go ahead and add a little leg extension just like we were doing. We're going to twist, extend, rebend, bring it back to center. Re-twist, extend, rebend, bring it back to center. Re-twist, extend, rebend, bring it back to center. And again, and you can take this at your own pace for sure. Like if it feels good to you to go, especially extra slow. I love to work really slow. Let's do this with just straight legs the whole time. If you don't love it, go back to bent knees or the bent straight combo. This is the movement that if my back is feeling tight after like sitting in at my desk, which is this couch, this is the movement that really helps me. Just because it requires my muscles to be engaged. So it's not just a stretch for my back. It's not just a twist. It's like a super engaged twist. So it gets everything kind of working together. If you're right up against the couch like me and you can go further, of course, move around. Make your space work, whatever you're working with. Twist. We're going to do one more to each side. Twist. Just be kind to your body right now. This is a moment for especially all of you, maybe who don't make time for Pilates. Let's go into our next one. Pull, pull. It's a single straight leg stretch. Pull, pull. Maybe this isn't your ideal workout. Maybe this isn't your thing, but this is a great opportunity for you to get a little sampler, maybe of a different style of work. We pull, 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 pull. It's okay to have bent knees here. Totally fine. It's also okay to rest your head. Now, if you're grabbing on, you can grab onto your thigh, you can grab onto your ankle. I would prefer you not grab right around your knee joint. Just in general, I think it's not such a great idea to tug on any of our joints. Pull, 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 pull. And let's find that active flexibility again. So we're thinking about this pull, 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 pull. And maybe it's really different. Maybe you were able to pull your shin to your nose, but when you don't have your hand there, your leg doesn't go quite as far. I know. See what I mean, Cassia? I knew I was going to mess up all of the words if you were on. Okay. Pull, 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 pull. But it's not judgy. You're just seeing where you are. So like maybe you're here and that's a beautiful place and that's where you are today. And you're just going to see how it changes and think about maybe why it's changing. If it increases, if it decreases, like what are you doing different in your life, right? Pull, pull, and hug the knees into the chest and squeeze and just rest right here. Okay, y'all. We're going to come up for just a little bit of standing work. So I just want to get our legs a little more involved before we do any intense booty work. This is going to seem really not like Pilates. It's a squat. What? So I want you to just think about a really good squat with your knees going, tracking over those second toes, just going straight down, trying to keep those legs parallel, making sure those knees don't buckle in, right? Think about spreading your toes. So I'll talk about feet quite a lot. There are lots of, I'm not a doctor, there are lots of nerves in your feet though that talk to the rest of your body. It's really important to give your feet that opportunity to spread out, feel the ground, even through socks, but just let every toe touch the ground, even though our weight's in our heels right now. So instead of, sometimes I get in this habit where I curl my toes up. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to curl my toes up to make sure my weight's in the right place. But let yourself spread those toes out. And now we're going to take this into a little squat to releve. So squat, straighten, lift up onto your toes, and just squat, and then lift up onto your toes. We lower it down. Yes! Lift up. And lift up. Really letting yourself work through those feet and feeling your ankles. If you need something to hold on to right now while we're going up to releve, that's totally fine. But I do encourage you to do what you can to get in some single leg balance work. My challenge for myself was to do this, to stand on one leg when I brush my teeth. So try to brush my teeth for like the 2-minute timer that's on the toothbrush, or 90, I don't know how long it is, 2-minute timer, I think so. So I'll stand on with one foot in the morning and the other foot in the evening. I know, sounds a little crazy, but I had all kinds of ankle problems my whole life, and I've noticed that they're starting to go away as I give myself that opportunity to stand on one foot. So I don't think it can hurt. And again, not a doctor, not trying to say that this is going to solve all your problems in your life standing on one foot, but who knows? And one more, all the way up. And now we'll go into, call it a push peddler, but we just have one heel up and then the other. And it's kind of hard to see on my mat, and that made it even harder to see. I'll turn to the side. That'll make it easier. And again, if I'm looking over here, like in a weird spot, it's because that's where I can see what I look like to you guys. And that's where I can also see if people are leaving me comments like, I can't understand you, you're talking too fast. So do feel free to give me feedback in the moment. It's okay. You're not going to hurt my feelings. We want to make this work, right? We want this class to be effective for you. Switch and switch. Really stretch over your arches. Again, I know it's hard to see. I'm going to take this so maybe you can see my feet a little better. Really try to stretch over your arches here. Really working through those feet, spreading the toes. I'm just working through, and yes, those crunches are my ankles. Remember I said I had a lot of ankle problems. Yep. We have 4, we have 3, we have 2, we have 1. Nice. Okay, we'll take a few pliés here, just in second position. I would do this on the reformer. This is basically my footwork warm-up on the reformer. Doesn't have to be a wide second position. I'm not trying to make this bar class. We're taking it down and up. But what I want you to think about is this stretch that you're getting through those inner thighs. In our plie, what makes it different from a squat is that we are not folding forward. We're thinking about an expansion out through the legs and trying to engage the rotators. So working an external rotation, keeping all 10 toes down, actually push your weight into the balls of your feet here. So your heels are still down on the floor, but we're pushing or transferring the weight out into the balls of the feet. Try to keep long through the front of the hips. It's the thing I struggle with, is I tend to grip with these hip flexors. You want to think about some length and space, pulling up from your low abs, take it down. And let's just take it down and hold. We're going to hold right here, just holding. Stretch those arms out. Keep those elbows lifted. Not here, but here. Feeling maybe even a nervy type stretch through your forearms. Reaching long. We're going to lift the heels up and down. Up and down. Working through those feet. Notice I'm not coming up and down, so I'll show you the difference. I'm not here. I'm trying to keep one height and just lift those heels and lower. If you need something to hold on to for this, please feel free. Try to transfer when you go up on your toes, take it to your first 3 toes. We have 3. We have 2. We have 1. Okay, we're coming back down to the mats. So just a little warm up there. I want to do some booty work with y'all. Glutes, outer glutes, rotators. So we'll be working in a movement. In Legree, we would call this scrambled eggs. We do this on the reformer a lot, and but it's an exercise we can do here on our mats. Keep your shoulders square, and you'll just take your leg out to the side. So I have one leg out. I know my leg's a little cut off right now, but it's out to the side. All I'm doing is taking it around and then tapping it out. And it doesn't have to be really far to the side. You could take it right here. And just make sure that your weight is staying square through your shoulders, that you're not twisting a lot in your hips. Really, everything is still except for this one leg that's moving. Exhale to pull it behind you. If you want an extra challenge, take that opposite hand away. Nice. If you find you're struggling with your balance when you take away this hand, think about pushing the top of your foot, the stable foot, into the ground. So that whole shin pushes into the ground. We have 2. We have 1. Send that leg behind you. Let's work on external rotation. You rotate the leg, you bring it to parallel. You rotate. My hip isn't changing, so I'm not shifting my hip. I'm just rotating the leg. So just feel how the leg can rotate within the hip socket. It's kind of like your arm in the shoulder socket, right? Like you can rotate or twist our arm. You probably can twist your arm a lot more than your leg, but just feeling and accessing those rotators without without standing on it, it can be a little easier to find the muscles. We're not trying to grip our glutes. We're just trying to stretch our leg long. It's just like somebody was pulling on your leg and just giving it a little twist. And twist. And hold that twist. Hold that rotation. Straighten out that leg. I tend to get a little tiny micro bend behind it, but if you can get it nice and straight, do so. And then flex the foot. Your toes should be pointing out on a slight diagonal right now. Remember, your hips are square, so you should be able to take your other arm away, and your shoulders are going to be square to your mat. We're just going to lift it up. Up and hold, up and hold. You might be feeling your support side right now, and that is okay. Make sure you're not sinking into it. Pull up and away from the mat, up and out of that knee, up and hold, up and hold, up and hold. And again, you can take this hand away for an extra challenge. Up and hold, up and hold. Let's take a double pulse. Up, 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 up. Trying not to arch the back. Up, 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 up. Let's do 8 more because it's fun. Up, 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 up. Accent. Think up and hold. Up, 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 up. Awesome. Let's go ahead and do that one on the other side before. I always like to think about my support side and notice what it's done. So I love the idea in bar how we sometimes work everything on one leg and then everything on the other, but sometimes it's fun to feel the difference between the two and how an exercise might affect one leg more than the other in a different way. So let's take that leg out to the side. Remember, we're going to try to keep our shoulders square. And your leg doesn't have to go directly to your side. It could be just on a diagonal. We take it around. We take it around. Take it around. Notice that there's a lot of wiggling going on in your shoulders or your hips. I just caught myself totally cheating. So let yourself stabilize so that really the only thing moving is this leg. Everything else is staying totally still. It's like it's frozen. If you want to take an arm away, go for it. It makes it way harder. Take it around. And exhale. And exhale. I'm going to do 4 more. 3, 2. Send that leg behind you. Let's find that rotation. So parallel or knee down to rotate. Parallel. Just seeing how much your leg itself can turn out in the hip socket. It's not about, again, not about lifting the hip. Try to keep both hip bones pointing down. So if you had flashlights attached to your hips, the light would shine straight down. Maybe 2 right next to each other, just like headlights on a car. And twist and twist, like right there, that you should really feel those rotators working. There's definitely, and when I say rotators, I mean like low side butt. Flex your foot and let's just lift up. We'll do 8 little lifts right here. Up and hold, up and hold, up and hold, up and hold. So you might be extremely aware of your support side. If you're not, go ahead and take your hand, opposite hand away, up and hold, up and hold, up and hold. Let's see that double, double, up, up. We're doing 16 of these. I hope I'll keep my count. Up, 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 up. We have 8. We have 7. We have 6. Keep your abs in. 5. We're not lifting with our back. We're lifting from the glutes, from the rotators, from the outer thighs. Up, up. Okay. So hopefully you felt a little of that in your side, but we're coming onto our back. We're going to do a little bridge series. And some of this bridge series I want you to think of as work for your glutes, but I also want you to think of this as a quad stretch. So I'm trying to embrace the idea of these exercises as stretches. If you have a towel, you don't want it under your head for this one. So make sure your neck is nice and flat. That one's pretty important. Unless you've had a doctor tell you differently, for you, definitely a straight back, flat neck, not elevated head. But if you want to take that towel and put it between your thighs, you could, because that would add a little bit, I like to make it pretty bulky, but that little extra squeeze can help to reset some things in your pelvis. If anything's gotten a little askew. We're going to lift up and down. Up. If you are using a towel or something between your knees, make sure your knees aren't, you're not going knock-kneed here. So you might need to bring it a little closer. Not between your knees, but a little higher up your thighs. We're going to lift up and up and lift and lift. Let's take our arms up. We're going to take them back and up and then back and out like a zombie. And lift up and then out like a zombie. Lift up. Awesome. Squeeze. We're not lifting from our back. We're lifting from the hips on down. And I want you to think stretch from the tops of those hips. So those are lifting up, but without any pinching, really any work through the back. Let's do 8 more. Lift. Take a peek. So make sure you can see your thighs. If you cannot see most of your thighs here at the top, it may be that you're lifting with your back. Try to keep the ribs in, and that's part of what opening up can help us do. We have 3. We have 2. And let's hold it up. Hold it here, holding here, holding here, holding here. Notice if you instantly go right into your low back. See if you can push up more through the tops of your hips and thighs. So thinking about length from the hip to the knee. Push those feet into the ground. Spread the toes. Really think lift, stretch. Think of this like a quad stretch. That's all your brain is trying to do is stretch through those quads by lifting up and engaging from underneath. We hold it here. Hold, push your feet into the ground. We hold, lift 1 inch higher if you can. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it drop. Relax. Okay. Let's go into just a little bit more of our abdominal work. And we'll take 1 more little stretch. How am I doing on time? Oh, I'm good. This is fun. Last week I was trying to fit these all into 30 minutes, and you can tell I like to talk a lot. I like to do this a lot. So we're coming down onto our side right now into a little side seal. This is one of my favorite moves. So we're going to squeeze our thighs together. Legs are parallel, and your bottom arm is extending out perpendicular to your body. Now, that might be a little hard to see, but it's going out like this. I'm going to take my top arm up and overhead, or for me, because I have some neck stuff going on, I put my hand behind my head to help me keep my alignment with my spine. I'm going to lift up, lift up, lift up. We're gonna lift up, 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 up. Let's do 8 more. Up, lifting up. Try to keep the ribs in. You're gonna feel your obliques. You may feel some work through your low back, but it shouldn't feel pinchy or bad. Up. Let's hold it up. Hold it here. Drop the bottom leg, bring it up. Drop the bottom leg, bring it up. Bottom leg, bring it up. Bottom leg, bring it up. Have you drop down? Can you lift up a little higher? Bottom leg, bring it up. Bottom leg, bring it up. Bottom leg, bring it up. Let's cross this top leg over. I'm going to reach around. I'm going to grab onto this foot. I'm going to try to keep my hips stacked. And you can either put your towel or your pillow under your head, or you can put your hand under your like this, so long as your neck doesn't feel twisty. Now, if you can, you're going to walk this bottom leg forward a little. It's a little different than how we do it in Pop Pilates. So it's a little more traditional, how we would teach this in traditional mat Pilates. I'm trying to keep my hips stacked. Don't worry if you can't hold underneath. You can always bring your leg like this. We're just going to lift up, up and hold, up and hold, up and hold, up and hold. I am flexing my foot and I'm trying to slightly turn my toes down. You probably can't tell because that's the best I can do here. This is a tough one for me. My hips are really locked up. Up and hold, up and hold. So if you can get more rotation than I'm showing, absolutely. Like if you can get your toes pointing all the way out, please do so. That's just not a movement that's available to me right now. Up and hold, up and hold, up and hold. Little circles around, around, around. Think of the up of the circle, around. Notice that there's a lot of wiggling happening. Circle the other way, around, around. So notice if you're shifting through your hips. Do try to keep that really under control. Around, around. Okay, let's swing it around. Let's go to the other side. We're going to do everything on the other side. Okay, extending out. Your arm is reaching out perpendicular to your body. You're going to think about keeping these hips nice and stacked. Arm is overhead. I'm not twisting in this one. I'm trying to keep it really straight and together. We lift up and up. If this starts to bug your neck, do what I'm doing. And I'm actually almost leaning back to just remind myself to keep my neck in line with my spine. Just that reminder. Think about where you're going. So if it's more comfortable for you to look slightly up, that's totally fine. Exhale. Exhale. Squeeze the thighs. If this bugs your hip, if you want to put a towel or cushion underneath, please feel free. That's totally fine. Exhale, lift up. And 3. And 2. And 1. Hold it here. We lower down. Bring it up and squeeze. Down. Make sure your body's not curving or folding. We want to keep one straight line down. Bring it up and squeeze. Take it down. Bring it up and squeeze. Down. Bring it up and squeeze. Down. Bring it up and squeeze. Down. Bring it up. Hold it there and rest. Okay, we'll cross this top leg over. And get this out of the way. If you want to bring your bottom leg slightly forward, and then your hand can go under your head, or you can put that towel or pillow under your ear, whatever's better for you. I'm going to flex my foot. I'm trying to turn my toes down. I think on this side might be even tighter. Whoa. I'm going to actually work like this. So showing you in the way that I said, like if you can't put your foot down, this side's just not going to do it. And we're going to take it up and hold, up and hold, up and hold, up and hold. That's the thing I'm working on is having I need a little more mobility in my external rotation for my dancers. I'm working on my turnout. I am going to post some free, my turnout journey, I think, because I'm already starting to see improvements. Lift, up and hold, up and hold, up and hold. So I'm going to post some of that to my Instagram. And so I'm at Just Saying Yes. I'll put it in the comments, at Just Saying Yes. And let's circle around. Try to keep the hips really still as we circle. But yeah, so if you're someone who's working on turnout, especially if you are a dancer, even if just like recreational, like it's a hobby, I almost said a habit. That's what I actually feel like dance is, though. It's more like an addiction. Take it around. So if you danced as a kid and you loved it, it's probably, that little addiction's probably still in you. Around. So if you are working on your turnout, follow me and we'll do it together, because I've got a little better than 90. I mean, it's really, my natural turnout is right there. Okay, guys, we're going to do just a little more abs to finish out. I think we're doing good on time. Yay, awesome. We're going to do some abs, and then we're going to do one of my turnout exercises that I need to do for me. But I think you'll like it because it's a good side booty exercise and inner thigh stretch, all of these good things to work out like the things that we just did. So just a little bit more abs. So we're coming down onto our backs. Let's go ahead and take for our traditional Pilates. Let's do our hundreds. So curling forward, belly button pulls to spine. We lift and shift forward, but we're not pushing our chin forward, right? We're keeping that in line with the rest of our spine. Squeezing, we take those arms out. We pump. Inhale. Exhale. Now the most important elements of your hundreds, it's this really brisk, strong arm pulse. So you're trying to create some instability. Like, I want you to feel the air. You're pushing the air around. So you should feel like a breeze. If you're wearing shorts, you should feel a breeze right now that you're creating. Inhale and exhale. And the breath is the other piece of this that's so critical. So if you need to rest your head, don't worry about that. I still feel my abs like crazy. If I'm using my breath and I'm really doing this vigorous pump with my straight blade arms, you'll feel it. Take those legs up. Inhale. And exhale. We inhale. We exhale. We inhale. We exhale. We inhale. Lower one leg. We inhale. Remember, you can always rest your head at any point. We inhale. I would rather you rest your head than take your arms behind your hands behind your head. Inhale. And exhale, because it's this movement you're creating that is creating the work. We inhale. It's not a static hold. Exhale. It is all about creating instability with the arms while you're trying to maintain stability with your abdominals. We inhale, exhale, and hug the knees into the chest and squeeze. Nice work. We'll do some half roll downs and into we'll do some, let's just do some half roll downs. I love these. Holding onto the backs of your thighs. Is that Leah on there? Hey. We're lowering down. We come on up nice and tall. We lower down. And come on up. Try to keep your feet down, straight backs. Lower down. We come on up. We lower down. We come on. Awesome. Lower down. Come on up. We lower down. We come on up. We lower down. Just to your low back. Try to keep those feet down. They do not lift up. So even if you can't get to your low back, that's okay. Let's do a couple more, because I should have said that earlier. If your feet are lifting up, that's not what we're doing. We're trying to keep those feet down. So you might not get to your low back. I know a lot of you are really bendy through the low back. And if that's the case, it is going to be harder for you to actually bend in this opposite way. Let's add in, though, for those of you, it'll take a little rolling like a ball. So we're going to hold, you can hold the backs of your thighs. We're just going to take it back and then just try to find this little balance point. Take it back, massaging the spine. Do make sure that, like, watch your spacing. You don't know, like, in a classroom, you would be very aware if there was a person behind you. Here, I want you to be very aware if the couch is behind you. We take it and turn it up. We take it and we bring it up. Find that balance point. If you would like a little bit more, let go with those hands. If you'd like a little bit more, extend those arms overhead. If you'd like a little bit more, maybe you come into a hollow body. Finding this little balance point. I know, I love it. I might fall out of it. It's okay if you do too. Like, you're not doing it live on Facebook for 800 people to see, so like, it's totally fine. Just giggle. That's what I'm going to do if I fall. And Awesome. And hug the knees into the chest and squeeze. Okay, I do want to do one last little booty exercise, and then we're going to stretch, and then you're out of here. So, and this is really a stretch. So we're doing our butterfly bridges, and I've taught these a variety of ways over the last couple of years. Yes, that sound was my ankle. So I'm pressing my soles of my feet together. My knees are wide, and I'm lifting up, and I'm lowering down. Now, when I first started teaching this exercise, so just so you can see, my feet are together like in a butterfly stretch. When I first started teaching this exercise, I was thinking more about just the muscles and those rotators in the side butt. Now I'm thinking a little bit more about the stretch through the front of the thighs. So if it's appropriate for you, you can think about those knees being maybe a little bit wider. And think about trying to activate from underneath to get a stretch through the inner thighs. So, and if stretch becomes like, it feels like it's too much, if you feel any pain in your hip flexors, in your high inner thighs, in your groin, that's what I'm trying to say. If you feel any pain there, I do want you to back off of it. I want you to at least engage your inner thigh muscles to help protect those joints. So we're not trying to overstretch anything. We don't want our muscles to freak out on us and overly tighten, or very worse, like pull anything. So lifting up. No muscle strains from Pilates. Lifting up. Lifting up. Some of you all know that I really recently recovered from a grade 3 tear of my quad, and honestly, it happened while I was teaching a Pilates class. So there was a lot of other stuff wrong with me. That's why it happened. Just why I'm so interested in like the balance throughout the body now. Lifting up. But really, even when we're doing a really gentle, in quotes, workout like Pilates, if something's feeling off, if your body's telling you something's gripping or overly tense when it doesn't feel like it's an appropriate response to the exercise, we want to back off of it. Don't push through it. Don't let that whatever type A brain or voice in your head tell you that you need to push through something that's actually painful. We want to work through muscle fatigue, sure, but we want to also listen to the messages our body is giving us. And especially when our circumstances have changed so dramatically, we're lifting up. We want to make sure that we are extra aware of what the body is telling us, because our situation has changed and it impacts the body. So our physical abilities may be changing, not necessarily better or worse, but they just may be changing right now. So let's lift up and just hold it there. Let yourself flutter open those thighs in just a really safe, controlled way. So you are choosing how far you are pressing those thighs open. So you are making a choice. You are not letting gravity do this. You are controlling this the whole time. And you might find that as you do this little extension with the support of your glutes, and if you need to support your lower back at all, that's totally fine, or put something underneath, that's totally fine. But you might find that you're able to get a little further once all the joints, muscles, nerves, once everything's like really talking to each other. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're gonna stretch. I think that was 2 minutes because I wanted to talk to y'all, and that was a whole lot. So let's take a little stretch. We'll just do a little forward fold, folding over. If you can't grab your feet, that's okay. Oh my gosh, I'm a little blinded. I was staring up at these lights. Usually I turn them off and I turn on some other lights when I'm doing this work, and now I'm realizing why I should always do that. So yeah, if you need your towel here to help you stretch, that's fine. I love a little bend in the knees through when we're doing a forward fold like this, and do let your head reach forward. If it's early in the morning for you, if you just woke up, you might be feeling like your upper back is like a block of wood. That definitely sometimes happens. It's that feeling of lengthening through your spine. If you can grab onto your feet like I'm showing, it's pretty easy for you. This is no problem. I want you to plant your heels down and see if you can lengthen those legs, lengthen those hips, get a little bit more on top of your sits bones rather than like rounded back on your tailbone, and pull forward. If you have something to grab onto, if you want to extend this to get more of a back stretch, you can use a yoga block. Really, you can use anything. Put it at the ends of your feet and just reach past it. So whatever you might have around, like a book. I have a yoga block right here, but really a book would be fine. A box, like if you got an Amazon delivery today, like reach for it. You need that extra length. Just stretch out the arms and shoulders. Okay, y'all. Let's find ourselves in a little lunge. Oh, it's 11:45. Okay, we're gonna do just a quick lunge. I started a little late, so it's quick lunge. One leg forward, one leg back, thinking about lengthening through this hip. And you can tuck that pelvis slightly under. I personally prefer to make this one a little smaller. Think about really grounding down. That knee goes right over that ankle. Really safe position. And instead of sinking into this hip, I like to stay a little supported and squeeze my butt back here. So squeezing my back leg butt so that I can actually feel that release through the top of the hip. For me, at least, and I'm not an expert on hypermobility by any means, but for me, at least, I know there are places my joints will go that my muscles aren't necessarily ready to go. And so sometimes it's like I bypass my muscles to get my good effective stretch. So I'm trying to find places more of grounding and engagement rather than collapsing, right? Let's find it on the other side. Just other leg forward. Hi. Thank you for the hearts. Pushing down, little tuck under maybe, and I hate the word tuck really. All I'm thinking is not, tuck is the wrong word. I think it's really just engage the booty and the back leg so that you feel that engagement, and you might feel yourself pulling up and out of that hip rather than sinking and pushing into it. And I found for me that's a little more effective way for me to stretch. Awesome. Let's take just that little butterfly that we were doing with the bridges and just take a little fold forward here. And then I'm going to let you go. I want to be respectful of your time, and I also have to remind myself that I'm going to get you again on Thursday and next week and Saturday mornings. I'm also doing, if you're a Balance Legree member, I am doing some of the Zoom classes with Balance Legree, and that is so fun. If you like Pilates, email Lissa, Lissa, at balancegym.com. Even if you like Pilates but you're not a Legree member, these classes are intense, and it's really fun because I get to see you. We're working out together, and I can give you feedback on your form. It's one of my favorite ways to teach throughout this. I teach a bunch of Zoom classes, so if you are interested, hit me up. You can see who I am on Facebook because it's posted from my page. But thank you guys so much for coming out to class today. I really appreciate you. I'm going to leave my info again, and if you want to leave a tip via Venmo, it's definitely appreciated at this time while we're still waiting on, well, we're all still waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm not going to talk to you more about that because I don't want to bring you down. But thank you guys so much for showing up today. Even if you couldn't be with me live, it's fine. I just love that if you're watching this, it means that it's something that is valuable to you, and I want to be able to give you something that maybe helps you through your day. It's definitely helping me through my day to teach these. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And again, I'm Catherine from Balance Gym. Hey, I'll talk to you guys later. See you Thursday. Yeah? Okay. Bye.